Mary was a girl full of life and dreams. She met Michael, a kind and gentle man, and their friendship quickly grew into love. They got married, and for a while, their life was a happy movie. But as the months passed, a quiet worry started to grow inside Mary. Every month, her period would come on time, a painful reminder that she still wasn't pregnant. She tried not to worry too much, believing a baby would come naturally in its own time. 4 years went by, and still there was no baby. The hope Mary once had became a heavy burden. Michael's mother made it worse. One day, she looked at Mary with a serious face and asked, "Mary, it's been 4 years. When will you give me a grandchild?" Her words hurt Mary deeply, making her feel like a failure. The pressure was everywhere, making her anxious and sad. Mary became desperate. She went to several hospitals and had many tests. The doctors told her she was perfectly fine and healthy, and that her hormones were okay. They couldn't find a reason why she wasn't getting pregnant. She even went through a painful test called HSG, an X-ray test to check if her fallopian tubes were blocked. The procedure was excruciating, every moment filled with sharp, unbearable pain. Yet she endured it, hoping for a miracle. She went home that day crying and praying desperately for God to have mercy on her. When the results came back, she felt a great relief. Her fallopian tubes were perfectly fine. In that moment, a heavy weight was lifted from her soul. Even the lab in her neighborhood knew her very well. Every time she walked in, the lab attendants would smile and ask, "Madam, what are you doing today? A hormone test, a scan, or you are doing follicular tracking?" She was such a regular that they almost didn't need her answer. She would roll her eyes and sigh, feeling embarrassed and wishing she could disappear. She even stopped buying ovulation and pregnancy test strips from pharmacies nearby. Too many familiar faces already knew her business, and she wasn't ready to turn her private life into public gossip. Whenever she asked Michael to get tested, his answer was always the same. "I'm perfectly okay. When the time is right, God will give us kids," he would say, and wave away her worries. His calm words made her feel foolish for even asking, but deep down, she couldn't help but cling to the hope that everything would eventually fall into place. Still searching for answers, she spent hours online buying herbal concoctions for fertility from Instagram vendors. She took pills and supplements every day, hoping for a miracle. Michael's mother, who wanted a grandchild badly, took her to a prophet who claimed Mary had spiritual children blocking her womb. Mary went with a tiny bit of hope, but that hope died the moment the prophet locked her in a small, dark room for 5 days. He beat her with a horsewhip, saying he was driving the spiritual children out of her. The physical pain was nothing compared to the deep shame and fear. When she finally got home, bruised and broken, Michael just looked at her. He didn't ask what happened. He simply said, "You look like you just came from Sambisa Forest," and he burst out laughing before adding, "It will happen soon, babe, don't worry." His laughter cut deep, and she felt profoundly betrayed. Why wasn't he angry at what his own brother had put her through? Mary's doubts grew. Michael was always distant from her pain. She started to wonder if he was hiding something. One evening, while he was sleeping, her curiosity took over. With shaking hands, she picked up his phone. Her heart raced as she went through his WhatsApp messages with his friend. He had been taking native medicine because a doctor told him he had 0 sperm count. The phone dropped from her hand. 6 years of suffering, the herbal drinks, the cruel words, the terrible beating from the prophet flashed before her eyes. It was never her fault. He had known the whole time. He had watched her suffer and had done nothing. The man she loved had betrayed her in the worst way. A storm of emotions hit her. Shock, anger, and a deep sadness, but also a powerful sense of freedom. The lie was gone. She finally understood why he had been so distant. She can forgive infertility, but she can't forgive the lie and betrayal. The next morning, Mary couldn't hold back. She stood in front of Michael, her hands trembling, her eyes burning with pain and strength.
"I saw your messages with your friend," she said, her voice firm. "All these years, it wasn't me, it was you. You watched me suffer for nothing, and you did nothing." Michael's face fell. Guilt and fear were written all over his face. "Mary, I I didn't know how to tell you," he whispered. "I was looking for a solution. I didn't want to lose your respect. I didn't want to feel less of a man. I never wanted to hurt you, but I couldn't tell you I can't get a woman pregnant. I thought I could fix it quietly, and my friend told me herbs could help." Mary's chest hurt. She felt her heart break. His words didn't erase the years of pain, but they showed her the truth. She shook her head slowly, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I can forgive infertility, but I cannot forgive lies and betrayal. You lied to me for years," she said softly. The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating. Michael's confession hung in the air, a bitter truth that came too late. Mary knew in that moment that nothing could repair the trust that had been broken. Later that day, she packed her bags and left before he came home. It was the hardest thing she ever did, but she also felt a great sense of relief. She was a survivor, not a victim. The years she lost were gone, but her future was now her own. Mary's story shows us that the truth is always better than a lie, and that courage and self-respect are more important than a relationship built on dishonesty. I also want you to know that sometimes men can be infertile too. Society often blames women for not having a baby, but we forget that men can be suffering as well. If you are a woman trying to conceive, always encourage your partner to go with you to a doctor. He should get tested too, with a semen analysis or a hormonal profile, or whatever the doctor recommends. I hope Mary's journey gives you hope and courage to face your own challenges. If her story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I would love to have you in my community.